With the COVID-19 pandemic, we are facing an unprecedented global crisis with immense local impacts. Government, industry, academe, and civil society are working together more than ever so we may not only adapt to present conditions, but are able to transform it. Inclusive innovation is our new normal. It's happening now, and we are part of this change. All over the world, people are responding to global challenges with innovative solutions backed by research and development. Setting the foundation for a globally competitive knowledge economy, the Department of Science and Technology launched the Science for Change program, enabling individuals and institutions to develop products and services that improve the lives of Filipinos in the countryside, creating opportunities to improve science and technology infrastructure in the regions. S4CP introduces the Niche Centers in the Regions for R&D program, or NICER, a grant for universities to become focal points for R&D from a local to a national scale, where research outputs meet industry needs.
Magandang umaga, magandang agham sa lahat. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Revolution, a symposium on research evolution towards a society-centric R&D, building sustainable cities and communities, organized by the DOST Office of the Undersecretary for R&D in partnership with DOST Office of the Undersecretary for Regional Operations and the DOST PSURD. This event is also supported by the DOST regional offices. And I am Diane Tating from the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Industry, Energy and Emerging Technology, Research and Development, or DOST PSURD, and I am honored to be your host for today. We hope that you are well from the comfort of your own homes and or perhaps you're having a great morning from your offices this day. So thank you to all of our participants. We have seen that you have joined early and we truly appreciate that. So can we just again hear from you? Can we do a very quick exercise of the fingers and make this symposium still interactive, although this is online? So can we hear from you? And kindly just type in your name and your affiliation so that we can do a very quick shout out later on before we proceed to our program proper. So our topic for today is building sustainable cities and communities. Even before the pandemic, densely populated cities have been a major concern worldwide. Highly populated areas consume excessive amounts of energy, water, and other basic needs. This concern is amplified with the introduction of what we have right now, the COVID-19, with the added difficulties in social distancing, transfer and deliveries of goods and services. The level of energy consumption falls with the amount of pollution generated. And it is during these moments that research and development, or R&D, is crucial in addressing the current national issues. As a sub-program of DOST, Science for Change, the Niche Centers in the Regions for R&D, or what we call the NICER, enables higher education institutions to make significant improvements in regional research to promote regional growth in all 17 regions. And through this symposium that we have this morning, we will provide the answer to the challenge on how science, technology, and innovation will achieve sustainable cities and communities in the Philippines. Learn the established R&D centers in the regions and get involved in doing inclusive R&D that builds on these goals. And we are excited. I hope that you are. And I know that you have made time for this. And so definitely you are looking forward for the talks that we will be having today, to hear from our invited speakers from various agencies who will be providing us with the latest information and insights on the multitude of actions. So join us today as we revolutionize the Philippines through our NICERs. Aside from Zoom, This event is also being broadcasted live via Facebook pages of DOST Assured, DOST USEC, OUSEC RO, and also the Facebook pages of our regional offices. Right now, we have how many participants from Zoom? We are now joined by 431 and counting participants. Maraming salamat po for taking the time to join us this morning. And so as promised, sabi ko nga po kanina, babatiin po namin kayo. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge our participants. We have from BIFAR, we have also from CHED, we also have from Mandaue City, and also joining us from the private industry, Symmetrics Research Consultancy Corporation. I've also seen earlier, merong mga taga Davao, di ba? Merong taga Ilocos Norte. Kanina nakikita ko, nag-chat. Merong from Partido State University, okay? Keep them coming, keep them going. You also have from Bulacan State University. Sino pang nandito? Basilan State College. I also see here MSU Naawan. Okay, meron ding taga Catanduanes. We also have international participants. We have from Singapore also. Wow, maraming salamat po for joining us. We are excited to learn more about this NICERS that we would have. And because we are talking about NICERS, it is so nice to hear from you and to see you this morning virtually. Sino pa nga ba ang mga nandito? We also have, of course, our family from DOST. We are also joined by Picard. We also have from CNS-CICS Department. We also have from PUP Manila, Davao del Norte. Okay, sino pang nandito? We have also from Marawi. Marami tayo, Cebu, Baguio. Okay, maraming salamat po. Okay, UP Cebu, UP Los Baños. So we are well represented not only at the national level, pero meron din tayong mga foreign, di ba? Meron din tayong mga kasama outside the country. And we also have, of course, our media partners. We have Net25. Okay, so maraming salamat po for joining us, Miss Belle Surara. Thank you so much. And as much as I want to read all of these messages, but then thank you. Maraming salamat po. And I hope that this morning we have been a little bit energized so that we can start energetic. We can start nicely as we begin and as we discuss different NICERS in this symposium. So our event today will unveil 3 NICERS set to make a difference in cities and communities in the country. We also have messages from key stakeholders and local government officials who would like to show their support of the NICER program. So everyone, I hope you stick to our show until the end to hear the messages of our special guest. Okay, so before we proceed, a little reminder and a little request from me, please, to all of our Zoom participants, please do mute your microphones and turn off your cameras. And to everyone, including our friends viewing the event through our Facebook live stream, we will be having a live Q&A later on. So we encourage you to key in your questions later on. We have here our chat box. We also have our comment section in our Facebook. And we have our technical personnel in DOST who are monitoring the comment section so that we can accommodate later on your questions. So I think that is clear to everyone, and I think we should keep this ball rolling. So to formally welcome everyone and open the discussion proper, we have with us the Undersecretary for R&D, Dr. Rowena Cristina L. Guevara. Magandang agham po, Yusek Gev.
Secretary Fortunato T. de la Peña, Undersecretary Sancho A. Maborang, Executive Director Enrico C. Pariñet, DOST Regional Directors, especially Director Jojo Patalinhug, Director Nancy Bantog, and Director Jess Zamora, RTU President Maria Eugenia M. Yanco, UC President Nancy M. Flores, Chancellor Lisa D. Coro of UP Cebu, NICER Program Leaders Mr. Ryan Guido, Dr. Nathaniel Vincent A. Lubrica, Dr. Mary Joyce Flores, and the NICER project leaders, partners from regional government offices, members and representatives of the regional development councils, leaders in our local government units and industry partners, colleagues from DOST, and co-workers in national government agencies, friends from media, participants, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to all of you. The research and development community continuously innovates to respond to basic changes around the globe. The role of R&D today has been transformed to a more society-centric framework so as to create positive societal change and to focus on achieving socio-economic impact in our communities. In support of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, the DOST, through these NICERs, or niche centers in the regions for R&D, is providing possible R&D interventions that will enhance inclusive and sustainable urbanization, reduce the adverse environmental impact of cities, decrease economic losses caused by natural disasters, and develop holistic policies and community plans. Today, the socioeconomic impact of the Science for Change program is more evident in the regions where NICERs are established. In the National Capital Region, we have the Center for Astronomy R&D of Rizal Technological University, or RTU. The center has trained more than 500 young scientists in the field of astronomy and space science in senior high schools and colleges. They developed the Pollution Luminance, or POLLUX device, to monitor light pollution. From these R&D efforts, the center, in collaboration with the Philippine National Police, will propose a local policy for LGUs to lessen light pollution and energy consumption in the cities and to improve lighting in areas considered as crime hotspots. For the mountainous communities, we have the Mountain Engineering R&D Center of the University of the Cordilleras in Baguio City, Cordillera Administrative Region. The center provides science and engineering interventions to mitigate the risks of landslides and extreme flooding events. Such efforts are envisioned to save an estimated 200 million pesos per year in infrastructure damage due to mountain landslides, increase agricultural production of rice terraces by 20%, and provide 2 million Cordillerans access to sustainable clean water through collaborative water resource management and governance. There is also the Environmental Informatics R&D Center of the University of the Philippines, Cebu, in the Central Visayas region, which would be of assistance to our country's forested and farming communities. The center has initiated the crafting of the Biodiversity Atlas of Cebu, monitored mango pests and diseases through microcontroller-based sensor systems, produced species distribution maps for 103 native species of flora and fauna, published biodiversity threat maps to monitor human settlement pressures on biodiversity richness, generated surface water maps and groundwater potential maps for 46 municipalities in the Cebu province, all for the improvement of the Central Cebu protected landscapes, rehabilitation, and reforestation initiatives. We hope that these inspiring efforts of our NICERs to deliver scientific development to their regional communities will encourage the private sector to likewise conduct R&D aligned to the region's economic priorities. Further, we hope that these worthy initiatives would motivate our higher education institutions to do more R&D projects that are aimed at improving the lives of the Filipino people. As the future national R&D centers, the DOST intends that these NICERs will upgrade the technological capabilities of the industrial sectors, support domestic technology commercialization, and promote a conducive environment for industrial diversification and competitiveness in the regions. The DOST sincerely acknowledges and commends your extensive efforts, more so during this pandemic, to realize our vision of creating sustainable cities and communities. Together, let us make innovation work for the people through investment in research and development. May we continue unifying our efforts in R&D because we believe that R&D will make sustainable development happen. Maraming salamat at magandang agham po sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Guevara. Thank you for giving us an overview of this NICER program and the goals of the NICER sub-program in uplifting the lives of Filipinos. We hope that our participants were encouraged and inspired to really put together our efforts for R&D that will make change for the people. So, and also, of course, Yusek Gev, thank you for providing us with the vision on R&D and how it can make change happen for the IEET sector, and in turn, to ensure the country's ability to achieve our sustainable development goals in cities and communities. And again, as you said, let us unify our R&D efforts. This time, let us now welcome our dear DOST Secretary Fortunato T. de la Peña to give us a keynote message. Magandang umaga po, Sec Boy.
To our partners from the regional government offices and local government units, colleagues and friends from the Department of Science and Technology, to NICER program and project leaders, friends from the media. A pleasant morning to everyone. The world's population is continuously increasing. More and more people are also moving to the cities in search of better job opportunities. In 2018, UNDP cited that 4.2 billion people lived in cities, and this number is expected to increase by 2050, reaching about 6.5 billion, or two-thirds of the human population. Given this situation and its possible effects to our ways of life, it is imperative that we act as early as now in developing sustainable cities and communities that would consider inclusivity, safety and resiliency, and environmental sustainability. The Department of Science and Technology, in support of the Sustainable Development Goal for Sustainable Cities and Communities, works toward addressing the challenges of urban and regional life in cities. Through the use of science, technology, and innovation, we aim to enhance opportunities and resolve concerns relating to sustainable urban development and smarter cities. In support of this aspiration, the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology, R&D, or PSERD, has formulated the DOST framework for smart, sustainable cities and communities. This framework will serve as guide in conceptualizing and prioritizing research directed towards the development of active, vibrant, and sustainable cities by leveraging smart city solutions. The objective is to fully exploit the potential of the region's talent pool and maximize the benefits of an innovation-led economy. In March 2021, the DOST launched the Cagayan Valley Smarter City Belt, involving the various cities of Cagayan Valley. This is the Philippines' first Smarter City Belt project, which aims to spur economic growth in the northern region of Luzon. It aspires to make the cities future-ready through the latest technologies and innovations from DOST, the R&D outputs from the state universities and colleges, and other higher education institutions. In addition, the DOST spearheaded trainings on data science and artificial intelligence through the Smarter Philippines through R&D Training and Adoption, or the Sparta program. I am very pleased to inform you that to date, we have over 24,000 scholars participating in this program. These interventions aim to accumulate a critical mass of researchers developing AI capabilities and solutions to enable the industry of data, science and analytics, and foster smart governance practices. For instance, the cities of Butuan, Iloilo, and Kawayan were chosen as pilot areas in the implementation of the DOST Smart City program under Sparta. Today, the NEET centers in the regions for R&D or NICER under the Science for Change program will showcase some of the existing R&D centers under the industry, energy, and emerging technology sector. These include the NICERs on environmental informatics, the mountain engineering, and astronomy. For environmental informatics, we have the Center for Environmental Informatics R&D or CENV of the University of the Philippines, Cebu. The Center Environmental Informatics R&D helps to address pressing environmental problems in Central Visayas through R&D of sensor systems and decision support systems for agricultural, tourism, and natural resources management, crop health assessment, pest disease monitoring, disaster risk assessment, and hazard modeling. The center is envisioned to be sustained through a combination of research grants, grants derived from technical services, collaborations, and institutional support. Under the Mountain Engineering NICER, which we call the Bundok, okay, and this is the Mountain Engineering R&D Center of the University of the Cordilleras, which will enhance the industrial competitiveness of the Cordilleras in the field of agriculture, tourism, and mobility through mountain engineering solutions and promote social and human development through upland water security and environmental sustainability. The center will provide engineering intervention for rice terraces and road infrastructures in terrain areas, create a cable-supported water and transport infrastructure to improve the livelihood of MSMEs, assess and monitor spring and river resources, including the effect and impact of environmental degradation and climate change on water depletion, extreme flow, suspended sediment, and bed load for better management of the Chico River, and develop artificial groundwater recharge facility for drought and flood mitigation. Through the center, at least 250 lives are saved every year from devastating landslides and extreme flooding events. An estimated 1 billion pesos will be saved in infrastructure damage due to landslides in a span of 3 to 5 years. Further, the center can increase agriculture production amounting to 20%. Lastly, about 2 million Cordillerans will become resilient in terms of sustainable water resource management and governance. We also have the Center for Astronomy R&D, or CARD, at the Rizal Technological University, which will provide the facility to harness knowledge about space science and technologies. The R&D components of this center will utilize near-Earth observation methods to study the uncategorized type of pollution that our country has been exposed to for several years, and this is light pollution. The center is currently completing its development of a pollution luminance or POLLUX device, light pollution map based on the gathered data by the POLLUX device. Characterization of light pollution and development of space mobility logistics or cosmology website. Upon determination of the most light polluted area in Metro Manila through its level of energy consumption, the program can propose a policy about light pollution as energy saving and contributing to less light pollution. These collaborative NEET centers are established to ensure inclusive growth, and regional development. Envisioned as the future national R&D centers in the country, the social, economic, and environmental impacts of these centers were essentially considered in their establishment. In this manner, we can further expand the outreach of service and provide a more secure and sustainable future for the Filipino people. I would like to thank everyone for attending this symposium. Through the collective efforts of the Department of Science and Technology, the academe, the national government agencies, the local government units, and private industries, we can build smart, sustainable cities and communities that are safe, inclusive, and productive. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Sec Boy, for giving us a glimpse of the NICERs that you'll be unveiling today. Di ba? Meron tayong NICERs on environmental informatics and mountain engineering and astronomy. And thank you, of course, Sec Boy, for giving us an inspiring message on innovation and on how R&D can help the country achieve sustainable cities and communities. And as you have mentioned, dapat inclusive, resilient, and at the same time productive if our efforts are again unified. So we look forward that after this symposium, we would be able to produce more collaborations to make more R&Ds come alive, diba? For the betterment of our Filipino people. So according to the United Nations, 5 billion people in the world are projected to live in cities by the year 2030. And the government through the DOST should prepare our country in meeting this demand. And as the COVID-19 pandemic continues in the world, there is a need to augment the current energy supply relating to strategies in the IEET sector and its resiliency to withstand a prolonged and pervasive pandemic. And we are happy that PSURD is the lead agency of the DOST in generating R&D programs and projects for the betterment of industry, energy, and emerging technologies. They provide support needed as we build on our goals for sustainable cities and communities. So to talk more about PSURD efforts, let us all welcome the Executive Director of PSURD, Dr. Enrico C. Paringit. Good morning po, Doc Eric.
DOST Secretary Fortunato P. de la Peña, DOST Undersecretaries Dr. Rowena Cristina Guevara and Engineer Sancho A. Mabora, our stakeholders from the Philippine National Police, various local government units, national government agencies, partners from the academe and the private sector, friends from the media, pleasant morning to all. We thank everyone for joining us today as we look on the latest developments on our NICERs on astronomy, mountain engineering, and environmental informatics. We thank our local chief executives, officers from the various national government agencies, and researchers from the academic institutions for your unwavering support to our science and technology initiatives. Today is a momentous occasion as we unveil before the public the Centers for Astronomy R&D or CARD, the Mountain Engineering R&D Center or Program Bundok, and the Center for Environmental Informatics or CENVI. These three centers are fertile germination pots of creativity and innovation. As the Philippines continues to conquer new frontiers in space with the enactment of the Philippine Space Act, investments in astronomical research are important as we build our capability and technological expertise. The Result Technological University's CARD is a leap forward for us to explore our skies and to make use of these technological advances in astronomy to improve the lives of our people and understanding the world around us. From the skies, we can obtain data about our environment and produce innovative solutions to address the various challenges that we face today and tomorrow. The University of the Philippines Cebu's CENVI is a reservoir of innovations on land use, soil, water, and climate that our citizens can adapt and utilize. As a country with various landforms, it's imperative that we harness these vast natural resources properly to cater to the needs of the citizenry. Through the multi-university program Bundok, we can maximize the potential of our mountains and produce innovations on infrastructure and water security to address the needs of our upland citizens. As we launch these new centers, we hope that our citizens will be inspired by our researchers who are making innovations work for the people. We look forward to seeing the research outputs that will spring from these NICERs to be seen in your homes and in your communities. We invite everyone to listen and participate actively in the discussions that will follow after today's presentations. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayo lahat.
Thank you, Director Paringit, for your inputs on how the country can rise and survive the pandemic through R&D. Indeed, as we are harnessing and maximizing these researches, we are looking forward that many more citizens, not only the beneficiaries of these NICERs will benefit from this, but even all the Filipino people, diba? As we probably multiply these research centers in other areas of the country. So we now move on to the first segment of our program. We hope that you are all ears as we hear the NICERs on Center for Astronomy R&D, led by Professor Ryan Guido, Program Leader from the Rizal Technological University. We will also be hearing a message of support that will be provided by Dr. Lawrence Madriaga, Campus Director of the PSHS Main Campus. Also from Engineer Liza R. Reyes, the Dean of the Jose Rizal University, and the Regional Director of the DOST NCR, Director Jose B. Patalinhog III. Let us all watch these videos.
Welcome to Rizal Technological University. Did you know that RTU offers the pioneering academic programs in higher education, the cooperative education, computer engineering, instrumentation and control engineering, and astronomy? The astronomy program in RTU are Master of Science in Astronomy, Graduate Diploma in Astronomy, and a Bachelor of Science in Astronomy, which has three specializations: Astrophysics, Meteorological Science, and Space Science Technology. RTU Astronomy has an array of sophisticated optical telescopes.
On our right, we have the automated weather station, and here is the Anitak Observatory. Come on! So Anitak Observatory houses 14-inch meat instrument. We use this for observational astronomy class and for research purposes.
With the help of the NICER program, we were able to process astronomical data. Sir Jason Calao will tour us to the center.
Welcome to the Center for Astronomy Research and Development, or CARD, here at the Rizal Technological University. I am Jason, a CARD faculty researcher, and I will be giving a short tour at the CARD. But let us sanitize first. We commit ourselves into multidisciplinary R&D projects for astronomy, just like light pollution, or some building codes for age determination for selected celestial objects, space science visualization, or some Python-based light curve analysis. Just a door away is the research laboratory of the center. In this area is where we welcome astronomers and researchers who would like to visualize and analyze their data from different repositories and programming languages. We gather people of same research interest for scientific collaborations and endeavors.
Through the NICER, we were able to train senior high school students, college students, graduate students, and teachers.
And that's Center for Astronomy Research and Development.
Ezekiel Edward Dumago for having the research paper accepted in the 2021 International Conference on Space Science and Communication. Ezekiel worked at RTU CARD for his Science Immersion Program or SIP, and his output there, together with his co-workers, led to this particular research paper.
To congratulate RTU Center for Astronomy, Research and Development, and the rest of the team for the successful completion of 2 researches. We commend this great endeavor as well as its acceptance for the presentation in 2021 International Conference on Space Science and Communication, a Scopus Conference and a Scopus publication. We deeply appreciate the commitment and dedication that you have extended in giving opportunity to our students to take their immersion in your institution.
Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, DOST Undersecretary for Research and Development, Dr. Rowena Cristina Guevara, DOST PSHERD Executive Director, Dr. Enrico Paringit, Rizal Technological University President, Dr. Maria Eugenia Yanco, RTU Vice President for Planning, Research and Extension, Dr. Julius Meneses, co-public servants from DOST, other government agencies and local government units, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all of you. I would like to start by expressing my admiration and appreciation to the Science for Change Program or S4CP team, headed by Yusek Guevara, for your hard work in promoting R&D as a tool for regional and even national economic development. Already on its 4th leg, this revolution, a symposium on research evolution towards society-centric R&D, which you have organized anchored to the theme Building Sustainable Cities and Communities, has been an effective avenue for facilitating valuable exchange of information on R&D, updating the likes of some of us who are not directly involved in research and development activities. I would also like to commend the Rizal Technological University for the establishment of its Center for Astronomy, Research and Development, funded through one of the S4CP's sub-programs, the Niche Centers in the Region for R&D or NICER. This R&D Center is expected to pave the way for competitive research and community outreach in the field of astronomy, which will benefit not only Metro Manila, but the whole of the country. Astronomy is more than looking at the stars with wonders in our eyes. It is such a diverse field that has the power to unlock the mysteries of the universe. It is said to be one of the few scientific fields that interact directly with society. And if we are to build sustainable cities and communities, we have to have good insights about our planets and the celestial objects that may have impacts on it. The establishment of this Center for Astronomy R&D is a big leap towards more aggressive space science research and technological developments in the country. This hub will cater to students and professionals who would want to gather astronomical data and or test, evaluate, analyze, interpret, and utilize this data for their research and other related studies in the field of astronomy and space science. What excites me about these initial steps toward reaching the galaxies of knowledge is that this center is expected to stimulate and answer the curiosity of people, both young and old, on astronomy. It is hoped that this center will stimulate the interest of our youth on astronomy and consequently lure them to the promising but less pursued career path in astronomy. I am excited to witness the outputs of this R&D center in the coming years. Again, congratulations to RTU for your initiatives to advance astronomical sciences through research, development, and innovations. To the S4CP team, keep up the good work. Thank you and good day, everyone.
To all the astronomy lovers, the people, the star peoples out there, the students, I certainly know that this is something that should be added to your bucket list. Pwede na nating mapuntahan to, hopefully, di ba, sa Rizal. Thank you, Professor Guido, for conducting a virtual tour. That excites me. At alam ko, pati yung participants natin. And definitely, proud na proud ang lahat ng mga taga-RTU. And just like what Director Patalinhug said, astronomy is more than looking at the stars, because this center is a rising star, because this is a galaxy of knowledge that has been opened not only to Rizal, but definitely to all the Filipinos around the country. So again, we salute RTU, the Rizal Technological University. Saludo po kami sa inyong lahat. And we are looking forward that more will be trained. Marami pang magbe-benefit dito sa center na ito. So what can you say to all of our participants? Isa to dapat sa pupuntahan natin pag napasyal tayo sa Rizal, di ba? So again, thank you so much, Professor Guido. And again, we appreciate your efforts and your accomplishments. And we are looking forward that this galaxy or this center would be expanded to give more knowledge on astronomy to all those lovers out there. So thank you so much. The next presenter is the Bundok, or the Mountain Engineering R&D Center. The presentation is led by Dr. Nathaniel Vincent A. Lubrica, the program leader from the University of the Cordilleras. We will also be hearing messages of support from Professor Nancy M. Flores, the president of the University of the Cordilleras. We will also be hearing from Dr. Rexton F. Chacas, the president of the Mountain Province State Polytechnic College. Also from Reverend Father Gilbert B. Sales, president of the St. Louis University. Also from Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, the regional director of DOST-CAR, to be followed by Director Faye Apil, regional director of the DENR MGB-CAR. And last but not the least, Honorable Mayor Romeo Salda from La Trinidad, Benguet. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all watch these videos.
The Cordillera Administrative Region is known to be as the watershed cradle of the North. But behind its name and wonders, the region still faces disasters.
Benguet at Baguio City. 3 bata ang natabunan ng putik sa barangay Ambyong sa La Trinidad, Benguet.
Tumaas na ang level ng tubig sa Chico River pero hindi pa naman ito kritikal. Mabilis din po ang paglagasang.
Natutuyo na ang ilang mga sakahan sa Kalinga at Isabela dahil sa problema sa patubig. Dahil dito apektado na ang produksyon at
rescuers are having a hard time conducting their operations, especially since landslides may occur anytime in the mountainous region.
Look, this is what is happening in some parts of the Cordillera. As natural calamities struck the region, we cannot avoid some areas experience massive floodlines and landslides.
That is why 3 universities, the University of the Cordilleras, St. Louis University, and Kalinga State University, and a research center, the Watershed and Water Resources Research Center, joined to launch program Bundok. Because of the challenges sa terrain, it challenges also our agriculture sector. So, yung mobility natin, no? Even our water resources. So, for program Bundok, the objective is to find solutions for this mountain engineering problems or issues that we have. Specifically, all programs targeted to accomplish the following: rise telescope stabilization technology, slope protection analysis, and models for province, cable-supported infrastructure transport with regenerative braking system, and cable-supported infrastructure for water conveyance, web portal for decision support system using data value chain concept, spring water demand supply application, design parameter standard for flood mitigation structures, and effectiveness of artificial ground water recharge system.
I will be exerting my efforts in helping the group. Whatever activities they have in Baoko, they are welcome and they will be fully supported by my staff.
The time has come, and soon we will establish the first ever Mountain Engineering Center designed to innovate and support programs, projects, and activities towards sustainable mountain development in the Cordillera Administrative Region.
Pleasant day to all of you. Our country becomes more resilient, coupled with sustainable growth, when solution-driven professionals from various sectors work together, share their knowledge, expertise, and resources in developing and implementing innovative solutions to address challenging issues of the society, especially the government. This is the reason why the University of the Cordilleras is highly engaged in the establishment of a niche center for mountain engineering research and development in the Cordillera region through the program Bundok. We believe that the program is an admirable demonstration of collaboration among academe, industry, and the government to address timely and important concerns such as the water security in the upland. Allow me to convey UC's all-out commitment and support for the program. Rest assured that the UC research team shall contribute to the best of their abilities in ensuring the realization of the goals of the Niche Center program. It is our hope that the center shall inspire and support more research and development projects that are geared towards making our cities and communities more livable and sustainable. I also would like to express our gratitude to the Department of Science and Technology for funding the program and for all the support it has given for its realization. Lastly, I would like to thank and commend all our fellow cooperating universities and the national and local government units where the research projects will be implemented. What the team is doing in this program is truly inspiring. It provides us with the hope that we can forge a country where we and the generation that will come after us can enjoy a better quality of life. Thank you, and I look forward to learning takeaways for each of us.
We wish to convey our warmest felicitations to the Department of Science and Technology Cordillera Administrative Region under the able leadership of Dr. Nancy Bantog for pursuing a long-held aspiration that has finally come to fruition, and that is the establishment of the Mountain Engineering Research and Development Center through the program Bundok, a mountain engineering center towards sustainable infrastructure and upland water security. My congratulations is also extended to the University of the Cordilleras for spearheading this center. CAR has always been vulnerable to landslides because of its mountainous terrains and unstable slopes. The landslides in Matunin Mountain Province, in Tanudan, Kalinga, and in Itugon, Benguet are very grim examples that have put the region in the map as one of the most disaster-prone areas in the country. These natural calamities have claimed the lives of many and have caused billions of damage to infrastructure and property. And the major lessons learned from these tragedies are: 1, that prevention is still better than cure. Another is that the provision of basic access to the impact sites is a perennial challenge in the mountainous region. Moreover, the effects of human-induced activities and climate change have significantly restricted the water resources supply in the region. This Mountain Engineering Research and Development Center thus plays a significant role in providing the right response and in initiating the robust mechanisms along with other institutions and government agencies to adequately address these vulnerabilities of the communities in the CAR. This center, through impactful research and actionable implications, will be the bailiwick for bringing engineering and technological solutions to the disaster-prone areas in the CAR. The Mountain Province State Polytechnic College is proud to be part of this engagement. And so, in behalf of the college, we give our full commitment to this initiative in support to the government's thrust towards safer, adaptive, and disaster-resilient Filipino communities towards sustainable development.
We launched the program Bundok, a mountain engineering center towards sustainable infrastructure and upland water security. This event is a significant one since it gives expression to the vibrant partnership between the government through the DOST CAR and the Philippine higher education institutions and private organizations. For one, the collaboration on this project involved the University of the Cordilleras, Kalinga State University, St. Louis University, and the Watershed and Water Resource Research, Development, and Extension Center is a testimony to the strength we gain by working together. I know that the administration and management of all partner institutions support the different teams to make this endeavor achieve its goals with notable success. But the success of this research partnership will not end when the teams have completed and submitted the reports on time and liquidate the research funds as required. We need to look beyond. The success of this joint project will be measured in the manner that we are able to cast the framework that is life-changing for the communities involved. The knowledge that science and technology provides has the potential to be a catalyst in transforming our way of life and the society at large. Congratulations on this collaboration. Mabuhay!
My warmest greetings to our Secretary, Professor Fortunato T. de la Peña, Undersecretary for Research and Development, Dr. Rowena Cristina Guevara, Executive Director of DOST PSURD, Dr. Enrico Paringit, collaborating agencies of the successful 3 NICER programs, namely Center for Astronomy R&D, Mountain Engineering R&D Center, and Center for Environmental Informatics, and to all stakeholders present today, good morning. DOST has since been pursuing research, development, and innovation efforts. However, at present, through Science for Change program, or S4CP, the disparity on research and development financial distribution among the regions has been minimized, especially that the program recognizes the relevance of inclusive RDI nationwide. DOST CAR, for its part, supports the establishment of NICER programs in the region by shepherding research proposals through the Regional Research Development and Innovation Committee, or RRDIC. Thus, 2 of the approved 35 NICERs are in the Cordillera region. For today, 1 will be featured, particularly Program Bundok, a mountain engineering center towards sustainable infrastructure and upland water security. Program Bundok is a collaborative effort led by the University of the Cordilleras together with other academic institutions, government line agencies, local government units, and civic society organizations. Funded by S4CP and launched on June 8, 2021, Program Bundok seeks to enhance the industrial competitiveness of the Cordilleras in the field of agriculture, tourism, and mobility through mountain engineering solutions, and promote social and human development through upland water security and environmental sustainability. Further, this NICER will spur regional development through science, technology, and innovation. It shall enhance the regional research and innovation capacities, and at the same time will enable our researchers in the countryside to become more active players in nation building. DOST CAR through RRDIC shall continue to pursue responsive research, development, and innovation initiatives for a sustainable economic development in the Cordillera region. Thank you very much, and mabuhay tayong lahat.
Science and Technology, Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, the Undersecretary for Research and Development, Yusek Rowena Cristina Guevara, the Executive Director of DOST PSIRD, Dr. Enrico Parinit, the Regional Director of DOST CAR, Dr. Nancy Bantog, and to all the distinguished heads of the different academic institutions, virtual participants, and spectators of this gathering, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We at the Mines and Geosciences Bureau of the Cordillera Administrative Region are honored and excited to be part of this virtual gathering of great minds. The Bureau is a part of the program Bundok, where our geologists extended technical assistance on georesistivity surveys and groundwater assessment activities. Continue to support this program by sharing needed data generated by our hydrologic and vulnerability risk assessment projects. It is our hope that research and development projects like the program Bundok would continue to bring agencies together in the quest for upland water security and environmental sustainability. Thank you very much and more power.
This is Mayor Romeo Salda from the capital town of Benguet Province, our nation's strawberry rose capital. On behalf of the municipality of La Trinidad, I would like to extend my warmest greetings and congratulations to all behind the establishment of the Mountain Engineering Research and Development Center through program Bundok, a mountain engineering center towards sustainable infrastructure in upland water security. Being an invaluable component in our case for sustainable growth and development, the cost of research and development are suitable advanced by such novel initiative. In this regard, rest assured of our support to your future endeavors. May you all have a safe and productive symposium.
After looking at the stars, we should also look at where our feet are. In the land where we face mountainous calamities, just like in the areas of the Cordilleras. But with program Bundok, the Mountain Engineering Center, ain't no mountain high enough that we can rise above just to safeguard our mountains and, of course, our people. And with that, we congratulate University of the Cordilleras, Mountain Province State Polytechnic College, and St. Louis University. Thank you so much, Dr. Lubrica and team. This is indeed a milestone for us, and we are looking forward for the results, for the activities, and for the help that this center can provide, not only to the Cordilleras but even also to the cities around Cordilleras. So thank you so much again, Dr. Lubrica and your team, program Bundok. Just a quick update. We are now, we have more than 600 participants joining us in our Zoom, and also 179 Facebook participants. I know that is just from one of our Facebook pages, as we have shared this across many other different Facebook pages. And we encourage everybody to please do share the Facebook live of this event so that we can reach more people. Okay, 184 na daw pala and still counting. Maraming salamat po. And again, we encourage everyone to please take this time, take this opportunity to ask your questions. This could be your opportunity to engage, to partner with us, to collaborate. So do not miss this chance, as we will be having our live Q&A session later on. Okay, so we are on the last NICER that we will be unveiling this morning. And last but definitely not the least is the Center for Environmental Informatics. This will be led by Dr. Mary Joyce Flores, the program leader of UP Cebu. We will be hearing messages of support from Attorney Liza D. Coro, Chancellor of UP Cebu, Engineer Jesus F. Zamora Jr., the Regional Director of DOST 7, and also Honorable Mayor Jonas Cortez from Mandaue City. He will also, Mr. Alexander Smith will also be giving us a message, who is the Deputy Head of Mission from the German Embassy in the Philippines. Also, the former Country Director of the CORDIDE Philippines, Ms. Anat Prag. And ladies and gentlemen, let us all stick to our screen as we watch these last videos.
Environmental informatics is a tool that makes use of analytics and technology to help solve environmental problems.
Efforts to address issues surrounding
Analyze, interpret, and process this data using today's advanced technology.
The Center for Environmental Informatics, or CENVI, is a research center hosted by the University of the Philippines and currently funded by the Department of Science and Technology under its program, the Niche Centers for R&D in the Regions.
CENVI is specifically created to address the issues and concerns regarding the environment. In particular, the problems that Central Visayas is facing, like the rapid urbanization that has contributed to environmental degradation.
So increasing urbanization will always lead to more environmental problems. Now CENVI cannot just dip its hand on all these problems. So right now we are focusing on the more pressing and more common problems affecting the region.
We are in need of water. Another problem is our mangoes are actually dying, even though it's pretty much known as a thriving industry. Another problem is that we have a lot of tourists. It needs some intervention. Okay, because it's actually affecting our biodiversity.
We do not know what is in store for us in the future given all these problems. So the best that we can do is to make intelligent predictions. And this is where CENVI and environmental informatics come in. The outputs of these predictions are in the form of a map, or a model, or even the app. So all of these outputs are there as tools for decision makers.
For now, we have developed groundwater maps for which the different local government units can use it to check whether there are groundwater resources available in their localities. Another is that these maps can be used to create regulations to ensure that their water are protected and industrial or commercial activities do not pollute their water resources. With regards to mangoes, we're developing tools that can actually detect different pests and diseases that can degrade the value of those foods. For biodiversity, we're developing species distribution maps. These maps allow our lawmakers or policymakers to create interventions to ensure that our native trees, our native animals are protected. We We've been working with a lot of institutions and organizations. One of them is Mandaue City, Lapu-Lapu City, Naga City, and the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines Cebu chapter. In the aftermath of the Naga landslide, it was Senvi who actually went there in ground zero, providing them with information as to how they can fast track the operations, how they can actually pinpoint the exact locations of the possible victims of the landslide.
We have been also open to CSOs like the religious community,
particularly the Philippine Agustinian Development Office. So they have an initiative to develop a climate smart village in Dumanhog. So we created a map for them to pinpoint areas where there are hazards, pinpoint areas where there's actually a potential for agricultural or residential developments.
The challenge now is how to make Senvi become a sustainable center. So far, the Senvi is the only center that deals with environmental informatics in the country. However, turning it into a center or institution is something that is challenging and something that we cannot do alone. What we want is, we hope that the users of information, such as the LGUs, and then of course there are the CSOs and hopefully the business sector, will make use of the information.
In Senvi, we want people to avail of Senvi services and make use of our outputs in their planning and decision-making processes.
Let's make science and technology relevant and useful in our interventions. Hence our tagline,
providing technological solutions to environmental problems.
In behalf of the University of the Philippines, Cebu, I extend our sincere gratitude to the Department of Science and Technology for the support they have consistently given to us. DOST's palpable support comes not just through research fundings, but also in conferences and international travel, and to our students for their scholarships. DOST's funding support before was centralized in the NCR region. Now, it is spread out in the country. DOST's NICER program is the best proof of this. HEIs in the regions can now undertake quality research, which helps promote development in their respective regions. DOST's NICER program revolutionized, in a way, access to R&D funding in the country. The various NICER programs presented today is a testament that talent and innovation can be made to surface with proper substantial support. R&D experience is one of the most rewarding and challenging experiences in an academic life, both for students and faculty. With proper collaboration and cooperation, coupled with creativity among the government, university, industry, and the community, the society is bound to benefit from it. The United Nations 17 SDGs can only be achieved through their partnerships. UP Cebu's NICER project, the Central Visayas Center for Environmental Informatics, or CENVI, addresses SDG 11 in making cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Through computing techniques, UP Cebu CENVI produced solutions to pressing environmental problems. Some of its accomplishments range from development of deep learning object detection of mango pest, map generation of potential water sources in Cebu, mapping of different terrestrial species in Cebu, land use development plans assessment, which enable or threaten biodiversity, and recommendations for the protection and conservation of endemic species and forests of Cebu. With the adoption of CENVI's research output, we hope that we at UP Cebu is able to contribute in making Central Visayas and our country a safer and more resilient and sustainable place to live in. Thank you.
On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office 7, I would like to express our commendation and support to the Center for Environmental Informatics, or CENVI, which was established in the University of the Philippines, Cebu, under the DOST's Niche Center in the region for R&D of the NICER program. CENVI makes use of computing technologies in response to various environmental issues in the province or in the region which require easy solutions and interventions. This has been evident in their undertakings from creating heat maps of COVID-19 cases in the province, providing sustainability assessments to quick mapping of environmental disasters. And since the DOST's programs and services are exactly in line with CENVI's mission, we place our support on your projects and activities and other initiatives for the general public as we continue to strive in developing a society-centric R&D and at large building sustainable cities and communities.
Secretary de la Peña, Undersecretary Guevara, DOST Region 7 officials, UP Cebu Chancellor Coro, participants, collaborators, and guests, good morning to everyone. It is a great honor to be invited to speak on the DOST Symposium Revolution, a symposium on research evolution towards a society-centric research and development. The German government has been supporting the environmental protection, sustainable development, and the improvement of water, sanitation, and hygiene in schools in the Philippines for a very long time. Crucial improvements have been achieved. The effects of climate change and the negative effects of the pandemic, unfortunately, show us that there is still work to do. One of the tools that German government is providing is the integrated expert. Integrated experts, as you may know, positioned in key institutions, support their assigned organization to grow and develop its goals. I am happy that your integrated expert has been able to support CENVI in the training and coaching of young and promising staff, exploring with them ways to expand the research advice on portfolio development and introducing new technologies and methods. Some of these have been developed by different programs also supported through German Development Cooperation. These efforts support CENVI in establishing a sustainable future as a research institute for environment in Region 7. There is a clear need for society-centric research and development in the regions. This is clearly demonstrated by CENVI's local research agenda and strong local ties with LGUs and other academic institutions in the region. The integrated expert is key in bringing academic and local knowledge in the Fit for School program funded by the German Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, by three different things. First, developing of dashboards for the easy interpretation and sharing of WASH in schools, short WINS, monitoring data within the DepEd system, and support-related capacity development measures on the use and maintenance of the dashboard. Secondly, support DepEd in preparing relevant WINS monitoring data, for example, number of hand-washing facilities, for the pilot implementation for the resumption of face-to-face classes, including pilot schools in Cebu, and to ensure safe resumption of face-to-face learning. Thirdly, supporting partners in collecting, analyzing, and presenting the WINS data in the different program countries and reporting on trends and developments. This seminar and transfer of knowledge products by CENVI to its local partners, for me, is testament to the adagium, think global, but act local. And the German government is happy to be part of this. I wish you all a fruitful seminar.
Greetings from France. My name is Annette Prague. I'm the former country director of CordAid, the Catholic Organization for Relief and Development Aid in the Philippines. Between 2019 and 2020, CordAid in cooperation with the Mandawi City Government and UP CENVI worked together to support resilient strategy building. We were promoting multi-stakeholder cooperation in resilience analysis, strategy building and action with communities and local stakeholders. We ensured the inclusion and participation of vulnerable groups and key stakeholders in planning. We ensured building strategies to protect local resources from the impact of climate change and other hazards while enhancing low carbon development. We supported complementing existing planning and mobilizing resources for action. This approach that we undertook together and we innovated together resulted in the development of the Mandawi Climate Change Adaptation Framework, or the CCAF, and the Mandawi Resilience Network, or the MRN. In 2019, MRN was initiated, recognizing the importance of community and multi-stakeholder engagement involving the government, the ILG, City Planning and Division Office, the Office for Strategic Management, CENRO, the Disaster Management Office, amongst others. Academe, especially UPSEMVI, NGOs and the Red Cross, community groups, the Urban Poor Networks of Mandawi City, private sector, the Mandawi Chamber of Commerce. SEMVI have played a key role in supporting MRN, helping to generate citywide hazard maps, looking at issues around typhoons, coastal and river flooding, sea level rise, saltwater intrusion, fire, landslides. They've helped to compile historical impact of hazards, vulnerability and capacity mapping with all barangays, as well as the climate projections. They've helped collect bottom-up data, ensure equal emphasis between slow onset events or extreme weather events like typhoons and floods. And they've helped to generate the Mandawi City Climate Risk Profile and the CCAF. SEMVI's work with MRN has enabled a 10-year long-term strategy for local government and local stakeholders working together in the first green growth, low carbon city resilience adaptation plan in the Philippines, and aim to be able to address and protect the city resources against climate and disaster risks. CordAid is a proud partner of SEMVI and the Mandawi Resilience Network. We wish you much success in the future. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to SEMVI. You know, after running through the 3 NICERs that we have unveiled today, it is really nice, you know, to know, I'm using the word nice, to know that these NICERs that we have unveiled are vast and a complete package for our communities and for our cities. You know, we have for astronomy, the stars, the galaxies, and then we also have something on the mountain, on the land, and this time for the environment. So kompletong-kompleto po tayo, right? With these research centers that we have. And again, congratulations. Thank you to SEMVI. Thank you for this initiative. Thank you for this intervention to the environmental problems. You've mentioned water shortage, dying mango industry, biodiversity in danger. So thank you for your research outputs here. Thank you for providing environmental solutions through this technological interventions. Dr. Flores and your team and your partners, salute to you and congratulations to you. And we join you in the hope that these information that we have from these research center will lead to transformation of a more sustainable, more resilient, more productive environment, more productive cities and communities that we have, not only in Cebu, but again, in the hope of our whole country. So this time we move on to our live question and answer with our panelists present. Again, congratulations and thank you to the 3 NICERs that we have unveiled today. So this time, may I request our dear Secretary de la Peña, if he will be coming, okay, I hope that he would be coming and joining us later on. But this time we have Yusek Guevara. Good morning, Yusek Gev. And of course, Dr. Paringit is also joining us today. And of course, our dear program leaders, project leaders, Professor Guido, Dr. Lubrica, and Dr. Flores, and also your partners to please turn on your cameras and unmute your microphones when you're asked during our Q&A. Again, I am encouraging our participants to post their questions here in Zoom. And also for those who are watching us through Facebook Live, please key in your questions in the comment section of the DOST Science for Change Facebook page live. Okay, I think we have, let me just check. Okay, I have seen the beautiful faces behind this beautiful projects. Maraming salamat po for your researches. Very interesting po. At sige, di ko na po patatagalin. Simulan na po natin ang ating usapan sa umagang ito. At marami-rami pong mga tanong, but as much as we can, i-accommodate po natin ito. And I know that our participants are eager to hear from our dear speakers and of course from our leaders from DOST. Sige po, simulan po natin. We have here Yusek Gev. Magandang umaga po, Yusek Gev. Meron po dito nagtatanong, paano nga po ba nakakatulong itong Science for Change program upang masakatuparan ang long-term sustainable development goal ng United Nations?
Maraming salamat sa tanong, Dayan. Ang Science for Change program ay nagtayo nitong mga NICERs na narinig nyo naman ang mga presentations. At nakita ninyo na ang ina-address talaga nila puro sustainable development goals. At ang pinakamahalaga dyan yung number 17, yung partnership for the goals. Dahil itong mga NICERs natin, hindi naman yan yung university lang ang nag-propose, kundi pre-propose yan noong Regional Development Council na kinabibilangan ng lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno, private sector, pati ng mga akademiko. Kaya natutuwa ako nag-present itong ating mga NICERs para ipakita ano ang halaga ng science and technology and innovation para ma-achieve ng Philippines itong Sustainable Development Goals. Kaya pasalamat ako at meron tayong mga NICERs na kamukha nitong mga minomonitor ng PSHEAR dahil sigurado tayo ma-achieve natin yung mga pinangako nating ma-achieve sa Sustainable Development Goals. And mangyayari lang yan kapag tuloy-tuloy itong ating partnership. Natuwa ako nung narinig ko yung mga testimonials kanina. Ibig sabihin talagang tama ang mga pinili nating mga universities, tama din yung pinili natin ng mga NICERs, at meron tayong partners. Maraming salamat sa tanong.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Gev. Susi din talaga no yung partnership natin. And we thank the partners of our researchers. You have chosen correctly and wisely. So this time po, we have a question from Miss Lorena Sajo from Zoom. And this question is addressed to Dr. Paringit. Dr. Eric, Miss Sajo is asking why sustainable development is important in our country and what are the ways that the government can achieve it?
Maraming salamat sa question, Dayan, and good morning to everyone, Secretary and Yusek Gev at sa mga panauhin, yung mga project leaders natin ngayong umagang ito. Alam niyo po, isa sa mga key thrust talaga ng mundo, no? Hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas, ay yung sustainability. If I will just define it very shortly, it's owing something to our children, no? So that they will still continue to enjoy what we now have, no? Or even better. Alam niyo po, isa sa mga thrust ng sustainability is to keep the environment clean, safe, and still teeming with opportunities. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, dapat mag-iwan pa tayo sa mga next generation, no? So kailangan natin itong mga projects na or itong mga program na naipakita ngayon or nailahad ngayon because we wanted to achieve this sustainable development goals as Yusek Gev mentioned. While of course there are a lot of opportunities coming from these natural resources, we have to also see to it that they are being used prudently and making sure that we do not only maximize the benefits coming out of these resources, but we also have to make sure that we do not degrade the environment accordingly. So, kaya po na-develop itong mga programs na ito because we wanted to achieve that kind of balance. No? It's achieving harmony with the environment and at the same time looking for opportunities to, of course, get the benefits of our natural resources. Halimbawa po, yun dun sa mountain engineering, alam naman natin na, well, halos tapos na, no? Fully exploited na natin ang mga kapatagan. So eventually, parang we will have to go to our mountainous environments to actually get some of the resources that we have. But of course, this does not come without some consequences to our environment. No? Kasi syempre, habang nagde-develop tayo, merong tama, no, sa ating kapaligiran. Pero kung tayo ay maghahanda, no, tayo ay maglalaan ng mga sapat na resources, no, at kaalaman, no, gamitin natin yung kaalaman natin, we will be able to mitigate the effects, no, of what we do to our environment. So kagaya nun, no, kung iisipin natin yung magagandang paraan para habang dinidevelop natin yung upland area, hindi tayo nakakasakit, no, sa ating environment. Maganda yung kanyang magiging kahinatnan, no? At the same time, it also provides us with some economic benefits and opportunities. Hindi po ito, kasi parang ang notion natin parati, di ba, ang environment, pag pinoprotekta na natin environment, para it's closing the doors to any kind of development. But that is not true, no? We can still make use of the resources that had been gifted to us. But at the same time, of course, we have to be good stewards of our environment. So, ginagamit natin ngayon ng technology. Again, kung gagamitin ko yung example nga ng ating mountain engineering program, ang sabi nila, gusto nilang i-develop yung mga kabundukan natin na hindi naman kailangan kalkalin, bakbakin, no? Tanggalin yung mga puno, kasi there are ways to for our people to travel in these mountainous parts and also convey the various goods, no, and products that they have coming from the mountain environment and thereabouts, no. So sabi nila, pwede pa tayo maglagay ng mga cable systems para i-transport na lang natin doon yung ating mga goods and products, no. So these are innovative ways. Sa halip na gumawa tayo ng mga daan, no, na syempre kapag gagawa kasi tayo ng daan, maaring mas malaki yung environmental consequences. So nakita nyo rin sa examples ng ating SENVI, no, kung paano na naman nila ina-address yung mga current emerging issues na natin, like yun nga, yung dying mangroves, yung protection for our coastal environment, as we of course look at the, you know, the opportunities coming from the influx of tourists, no, coming into these areas, kasi of course it causes some pressures to our environment, and that's what they wanted to, one, of course, understand, gusto nila maintindihan through, you know, sensing, getting data, and then trying to analyze what's happening, no? And then I could understand the vision that they wanted to find ways to, by understanding what's happening, they wanted to find ways to also mitigate the effects, thwart the effects, no? Reverse some of the effects by introducing some more measures along the way, no? Of course, when you say you get the information, it's not the solution as yet, no? But getting the understanding about what's happening is an essential step, no, in moving towards a more sustainable set of solutions. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Doc Eric. Napakaganda po rin sinabi niyo, no? Yung ibig sabihin nga ng sustainability. we owe something to our children. So sana nga itong mga resources natin, mapaabot pa natin to the generation, to the fifth, to the sixth, to the generations that would be coming. And that would be happening if we would be good stewards of these resources. And we can be, sabi nga ni Doc Eric kanina, kung gagamitin natin yung kapangyarihan ng science and technology. Salamat po, Doc Eric. This time, we have a question for Professor Guido. Okay, may nagtanong po dito from our Zoom participant. I can see how sustainable development is heavily tied to the country's natural resources. But I am curious as to how exactly astronomy is going to address sustainability. Ano nga daw po ba astronomy addressing sustainability? Professor Guido?
Hello po, magandang umaga po sa lahat. Good morning po, Yusek Guevara, Director Paringit. Ayun po, no, yung Astro din po natin also caters under the Sustainable Development Goals of UNESCO. Fortunately din po, no, isa din po ang ating IAU or International Astronomical Union na nagsusupport ng mga Sustainable Development Goals, just like po yung ating center that caters light pollution, also addresses the Sustainable Development Goal number 7 for affordable and clean energy. So this also entails na yung ating mga endeavors at ating mga tasks dito sa ating center also builds or also caters yung ating mga sustainable development, not only isa, but we could also, yung ating center also caters yung quality education o yung Sustainable Development Goals number 4, in which we provide astronomy education, especially now that we comply with the CHED memo for the offering of the astronomy subject in the undergraduate programs. So yun po. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po sa pagbabahagi nito, Professor Guido. Okay, next question. Since tungkol na tayo, nasa kalawakan na lang din tayo, may nagtanong po dito, paano po nakakatulong itong mga satellites natin, katulad po ng Maya 1, Maya 2, dito po sa ating bansa? This is asked by Mr. Elijah Justo. At ito ay gusto niyang marinig. Pwede po ba, Doc Eric, paano nga daw po ba nakakatulong itong mga satellites natin, like Maya 1, Maya 2?
Yeah, oo. Nasa larangan na rin lang tayo ng kalawakan. Sige, tutuloy na lang natin. Yung Maya 1 at saka Maya 2, sa mga medyo hindi masyado familiar, ito yung mga microsatellites na, actually nanosatellites ito, no? Mas maliit pa sa micro, na nilaunch natin sa kalawakan. Yung pangalawa, I think mga August ito dinala sa International Space Station, tapos ni-release from the ISS kamakailan. So, yung tanong, ano bang benepisyo nito sa ating sa atin, no? Primarily ay sa pagkakatanda ko, ang purpose ng Maya 1 ay Maya 2 ay mabigyan tayo ng kaalaman upang makapag-launch ng sarili nating satellite, no, yung kakayahan. Pangalawa dito, kung titingnan mo yung payload na laman ng Maya 1 and Maya 2, ay ito ay mga communication satellites, no? Ibig sabihin may kapabilidad sila para magbato ng communication signal at pabalik. Bakit natin ito ginagawa? May mga communication satellites naman ng available, di ba? Na nilo-launch ng mga malalaking kumpanya. Alam niyo po, papunta na ang kalakaran sa space ay papunta na sa ganun, no? Yung mga maliliit, kasi nga mas madaling i-launch at maramihan, no? Kasi nga gusto natin medyo mas malaki yung coverage ng ating space communication systems. And of course, there are motivations for doing this. They are a lot cheaper, they are a lot more agile, they are a lot more easier to launch, no? And then of course, it presents us with a lot of opportunities also for improving the way how we also communicate, lalo sa panahon ngayon ng pandemya, ng panahon ng distance education. Of course, mag-open up na rin lang tayo, but still, no, there are many challenges in trying to provide for adequate communication facilities for remote areas in particular. So kung meron tong mga satellites na to, pwedeng magamit para sa mga tinatawag na store and forward communications. Halimbawa, i-download mo pagka dumaan yung satellite, download mo yung lesson plan mo sa isang lugar, tapos kapag dumaan ulit yung isa pang satellite, pwede na mo namang i-send yung iyong assignment kung ikaw ay estudyante, no? So these are some of the na some of the key benefits that we can derive out of this satellite technologies that we are of course supporting at DOST. Tinitingnan natin ito na pagkakataon upang mabigyan ng sapat na kakayahan ng ating mga mamamayan at may kaukulang access no sa space sa data no. Kasi alam niyo naman ngayon sa panahon ng tinatawag na digital economy, everyone should have access and it should not be a reason for them for not developing because of the lack of access to the digital economy. So isa to sa tingin natin makakadagdag doon sa ating kakayahan no na magbigay ng infrastruktura pagdating sa communications. Bibigyan natin sila ng oportunidad para makasama doon sa digital economy. Hindi lang sa larangan ng education, communication sa mga kundi pati na rin sa economy natin at saka society. Siguro pati na rin sa environment, pinag-uusapan na rin lang environmental sustainability. These satellites are also equipped with GPS sensors para of course we know the positions of things no, and some of the signals that we actually get from GPS can be used to know the state of our environment, particularly yung ating yung ating hindi man hangin no, yung that space, the atmosphere. So medyo mahabang usapan pero may mga pwedeng gamitin na parts ng data ng mga satellites na ito to study the environment. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Doc Eric. Talagang punong-puno yung sagot ng ating director. Thank you po, Doc Eric. Isa lamang yun sa mga benepisyo, di ba? At marami pa. Sabi nga, Doc Eric, mahaba-haba pong usapan. Pero salamat po sa pagsagot dun sa ating katanungan kanina. Ngayon po, meron po tayong tanong para po sa ating Undersecretary Maborang. Okay, meron po nagtanong dito, Yusek Sancho, na ano naman daw po ang ating mga susunod na plano sa pagpapatuloy ng community empowerment through science and technology o itong CEST programs po natin. Patungkol pa rin sa Sustainable Development Goals. So, talo na po tayo dito po sa ating CEST programs.
Okay, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Sorry. At nahulog yung aking computer. Magandang umaga po kay Secretary De La Peña, kay Yusek Geb, kay Dr. Eric, at sa ating magalim na MC, kay Ma'am Dayan. Well, alam niyo po, yung ating CES ay evolving. Masasabi ko, yung community empowerment through science and technology. In fact, noong mga nakaraang buwan ay ipresenta natin yung mga CES projects natin na tumutugon po doon sa pangangailangan sa tubig. Kung matatandaan po natin yung wave of action natin on water technologies na kung saan ay tinitignan din dito dalawang bagay. Una, kung paano magamit yung tubig for household purposes. Pangalawa, ay kung paano naman po magamit yung tubig for livelihood purposes. So for let's say agriculture purpose and others. So paano po ito makakatulong doon sa ating SDGs? Unang-uno po ay naglalayon po ito na ma-expand at tignan po yung mga kaukulang technologies na kung saan ay magamit po natin ng let's say more efficient and more sustainable yung tubig, yung ating water resource. At banggitin ko lang talaga na meron ding mga technology na tinitingnan natin sa kasalukuyan, yung desalination technology, yung pag-convert po ng tubig na maalat at upang magamit at maging tubig na pwede pong mainom. So ito pong lahat ay tutulong dun sa ating adhikain na yung ating pong sa larangan po ng development ay magamit natin ng gusto yung mga natural resources dahil alam naman po natin hindi po ito infinite At yung nga pong CES programs ay isang aspeto kung saan ay isinama na po ito doon sa ating pagpo-promote, especially po sa mga far-flung areas na pagka minsan ay hindi po inaabot ng ayuda ng ating gobyerno. So marami po tayo dito mga proyekto na nandun sa geographically isolated and depressed areas or GIDA. Marami po tayong mga proyekto rito na ang mga beneficiary po ay yung ating mga indigenous people, mga marginalized sectors ng ating society, mga depressed communities. At talaga naman pong nakikita natin na pagka ganito po ang ating naging estratehiya ay in a way ay we can say that we are using our resources sustainably at isinasaalang-alang nga natin at sabi ko nga na itong mga resources na ito ay hindi infinite at eventually ito po ay mawawala. So ngayon pa lang ay ating ini-ensure that these resources are well taken care of. So yun lang po, Ma'am Dayan. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Sancho. Salamat po. Kailangan talagang ingatan, alagaan kasi nga hindi infinite. At salamat sa CEST program na ito kasi nai-empower ang komunidad para maingatan, maalagaan natin itong mga ipinahiram at ipinagkatiwala sa atin. Salamat po, Yusek Sancho. At dahil nabanggit na rin kanina ni Yusek Sancho, yung mga community programs natin, katulad ng desalination. Ngayon, akyat na po tayo ng bundok. Okay, akyat po tayo ng bundok at tanungin po natin si Dr. Lubrica. Dr. Lubrica, meron pong participant from Zoom, si Miss Margaret Custodio, nagtatanong and interested on the long-term goals. Ano nga po ba itong long-term goals at saka short-term goals ng ating program Bundok? Dr. Lubrica?
Hello, thank you, Ms. Dayan. Gusto ko muna i-greet si Yusek Guevara, Director Paringit at Yusek Maborong, and my co-program leaders and everyone, of course. Talking about yun nga po yung short-term goals is more on the technical matters ng project, like of course we have the partnerships, yung mga measurements, engineering design and analysis, the use and acquisition of sensors and equipment. And kung naman long-term goals ang pag-usapan, ito po ay yung mga effect or yung sa utilization aspect na po, yung implementation of the sustainability plan of the project, which is translated into economic development and resilience to our communities, wherein dito po nakikita natin co-ownership ng project with the LGUs and the stakeholders, as well as the full utilization ng decision support system by the stakeholders, and also the yung po yung mga research products as well as standards that will be derived from the program Bundok. Thank you very much po.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Lubrica. Thank you po sa pagbabahagi ng mga short-term goals natin. And we are optimistic po na magagawa po natin ang mga plano natin. Sabi ko nga kanina, ain't no mountain high enough para sa program Bundok, di ba? Salamat po. Okay, sana po nasagot ang katanungan ni Miss Margaret. And dahil nakatapos na tayo sa Bundok, tawid ngayon tayo sa ating mga environment. This time we have a question for Senvi. Dr. Flores, meron po dito nagtatanong, ano daw po ang most challenging, memorable public service that Senvi has extended?
Good morning, everyone. Kay Yusek Geb, kay Director Paringit, I think I see also our Chancellor Coro, our Region 7 Director, Sir Zamora, and to everyone who is attending. It's perhaps the one that tested the center's capabilities in terms of public service was the massive Naga City Cebu landslide back in September 2018. So in the chaos during the aftermath of the landslide and in cooperation with DOST-ASTI's remote sensing and data science, or DATOS, the center was able to estimate and accurately identify the locations of the victims. So prior to our intervention, the method of locating the victims was simply hukay dito, hukay doon. So the center's intervention brought clarity. So it made the search and retrieval operations more organized and more targeted. So according to the former Cebu Provincial DRRM head, Mr. Baltz Tribunalo, it was so far one of the fastest retrieval operations, thanks to the center's quick intervention. So in less than 2 weeks, 94% of the number of victims were already recovered. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Flores. Thank you po. Salamat po specifically dun po sa nabanggit po ninyong intervention during the Nagaland landslide po, di ba? Last 2018. And thanks to CENV, it has been the fastest retrieval operation po. So, okay, let me run through our list of questions. Meron pa po ba tayo? Okay. All right. This time, from Mr. Daniel Cinco, tanungin naman po natin si Dr. Chito Patino. Saan po ba sa mga bayan sa Cebu nagmumula ang mga mangoes na ginagamit na produkto? May curious po, saan nga po ba nagmula ang mga mangga? Ano pong suliranin ang dahilan kung bakit nanganganib ang industriya ng dried mangoes sa Cebu? Mukhang mahilig. Favorite siguro ni Sir Daniel ang mangga.
Hindi kami nakadala ng pasalubong, no?
Oo nga po, baka nakakamiss ng dried dito. Go ahead po.
Majority of the production is in Metro Cebu, especially for the processed mangoes. Yung covered na dyan ang mango juice, ang dried mangoes, and then for fresh mangoes, we're sourcing it out in different municipalities and also those outside the province. And I think among the problems in the province is the lack of proper maintenance of the different farms, mango farms in Cebu. So in collaboration with the A7, we are helping them map yung mga centennial mango trees, yung mga original na mangoes that's been planted in Cebu that's considered to be supposedly very productive, pero hindi nga maintained. So DA7 is seeking help in ensuring na ma-map out sila, and then the different local government units would be able to make the necessary interventions.
Thank you so much, Sir Chito. Ang sagot ay yung maintenance nga po on this mango industries. And certainly, with the help of CENV, na-address po natin itong mga problema na ito. At marami pa tayong pwedeng kainin at pasalubungin na dried mangoes. Okay. Next question that we have from our Zoom participant again. And this time, we would like to hear from our regional director, Bantog, and also from RD Zamora and RD Patalinhog. Ito po, meron pong tanong dito, what can be the contributions of the private sector for sustainable development? And what is the priority of our government? Can we hear first from RD Bantog?
Good morning, Ma'am Dayan. Yes, okay, the role, I think the question is related to the role of the private sector. And the other one is?
Yung priority po natin in the
priority natin. Okay, unahin natin yung role ng private sector. Ang private sector kasi, they are more than aggressive compared before in terms of joining the government in planning for the development. Kung noon ay passive sila, ngayon naman ay very aggressive sila. That's why in all our planning sessions, in all our conceptualization of any programs, especially this NICER, we invite the private sector to sit down with us for us to know kung ano naman yung perspective nila. So this way, we will come up with projects or programs that are holistic in nature. Bali na consider lahat sana ang anumang anggulo na gusto ng mga mamamayan for development. And as to yung priority ng government, I think this was elucidated by Yusek Guevara when she mentioned the S4CP, nakalaan doon kung ano yung ating gagawin. And this is, if we have heard of the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda, this is the blueprint wherein we should maximize the use of our resources by focusing on that Harmonized National R&D Agenda. And for S4CP, we have this NICER wherein the priorities of the region must surface when we do the NICER program proposal preparation. Yun po ang mai-share ko, Ma'am Dayan, and back to you. Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you so much also, Director Nancy. And can we also hear, I think nandito din po, okay, sina RD Zamora, o kaya RD Patalinhog, baka meron po kayong gustong idagdag sa nabanggit po ni Director Nancy? Okay. Ni-represent na ni Director Nancy. Okay, I think okay na po ang nabanggit po ni Director Nancy. Salamat po. This time, this is the second to the last question that you will be accommodating. And this is addressed to Yusek Geb o kaya po kay Yusek Sancho. And they're asking, how can we convince, ito maganda nga pong tanong, how can we convince the LGUs to approve the long-term projects for sustainability if some of them only focuses on changes that could happen within their term? Yusek Geb or Yusek Sancho?
Paunahin ko muna si Yusek Sancho.
Sige po, Yusek Geb.
Thank you, Dayan, and thank you for that question. Alam mo, kami ay have been in direct nagta-touch base tayo sa mga local government units, and I can say na you do not need to convince them. There are a lot of LGUs at present and right now na very conscious about attaining our SDGs, and in fact I can mention probably yung isang syudad na kung saan ay marami akong collaborations in the past and at present, yung Kawayan City, they have been doing a lot of activities in order for them to come up with projects to address yung mga SDGs natin. And I think about a month ago, may mga SDGs that yung pag-develop ng mga electric vehicles, pag-develop ng mga technologies on water, pag-develop ng mga sustainabilities on health. So there are so many LGUs right now that are on this direction, in coming up with solutions, in coming up with technologies, in coming up with governance initiatives that will address sustainable development goals. Kaya nga importante, and I can say this, yung presence din ng ating mga NICERs, yung ating mga R&D centers, because eventually, the technologies that will be developed and the human resources expertise that can be derived from the SUCs can contribute to the LGUs in addressing yung ating sustainable development goals and concerns. So napakalaga dito mga bagay nito, and we're happy na ganito yung perspective and konteksto na nakikita namin from the LGUs. at present. They're very informed. They are very conscious about these concerns on SDGs and looking forward to collaborate with us in the department and other government agents also to address their concerns. So salamat po, Ma'am Dayan.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Yusek Sancho, for that very well said answer. I would like to add to what Yusek Sancho mentioned. First of all, sabi nga ng SDG 17, partnership for the goals. By involving the private sector and the academe, we are almost guaranteeing that sustainable development goals, programs, and projects will really push through beyond certain administrations. That's first. Second, our LGU leaders are now well-versed in sustainable development goals. Hindi sila marere-elect kapag hindi sila well-versed Kaya pakinggan mo yung mga plataforma nila ngayon, laging lahat meron about sustainable development goals. So I will not worry about LGUs forgetting about this effort. And third, nasabi nga ni Yusek Sancho, nagde-develop ng technologies itong mga NICERs natin. Ang ibig sabihin po kasi ng NICERs, niche centers in the regions for R&D. So while they are solving the problems at the regional level in collaboration with all the stakeholders in the regions, the solutions that they have, especially the 3 centers presented today, can also be used on a national scale. So ang aming pangarap for these NICERs, in about 2 to 5 years, magiging National Innovation Centers for Science and Technology o NICEST. So from NICER, magiging NICEST sila in the future. In that way, whatever they develop at the regional level can be deployed at the national level. That way we are assured that our efforts in solving and achieving the sustainable development goals shall be continued from administration to administration. Thank you for that question. Thanks, Dayan.
Thank you, Yusek Gev. Napakaganda po. From regional to national, from NICER to NICES. And just like what Yusek Gev said, hindi na magkakaroon ng problema regarding the transfer of administration kasi from regional to national na. Salamat po, Yusek Sancho and Yusek Gev. Okay. Meron po dito, gusto lang din po namin i-share po sa inyo. We have this one, hindi naman po siya question, but a reaction, okay, from Miss Annabel Surara. Sabi niya po dito, reaction lang po from anyone sa mga proyektong nabanggit. Marahil po ay makalilikha na rin ng isang awitin na may kaugnayan sa 3 bagong NICER program. Tulad po ng lyrics ng kantang may title na Masdan Mo Ang Kapaligiran by Asin at Wala Ka Bang Napapansin sa Iyong Kapaligiran. Okay? Salamat po for sharing that, Miss Annabel Serrara. Pwede na, lalo na kapag naging nicest na, di ba? Pwede na nga makalikha ng mga awitin tungkol dito. Okay. So this time po, before we close our question and answer, we would like to hear po from our LGU participants who have joined us this morning. And we would like to hear your reaction po on the role of the LGUs of these NICERs po. So with that, we would like to acknowledge po the presence of Campus Director Dr. Lawrence Madriaga, Chancellor of UP Cebu, Attorney Coro, RD of DOST 7, Engineer Zamora, and the head of the Watershed and Water Resources Research, Development and Extension Center, MGBDNR, Ms. Helen Madungba. Okay, can we hear a short reaction lang po from you po? Okay, nakita ko na po si Attorney Coro. Go ahead, Attorney Liza. Good morning po.
Yeah, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. And magandang umaga, Yusek Gev, RD Paringit. we'd like to thank you again for the support that you had given to us. In fact, this all started with the LiDAR support. And so from there on, we're able to really bring up the research capabilities of our unit. And the NICER program was really, really very helpful to us. Totoo po talaga yung sinabi nyo, Yusek Gev, na whereas before, it's all concentrated on the NCR region, but when you came up with the NICER program, so na-devolutionize po ninyo to the other regions. And with that, hindi po namin kayo i-disappoint. We're really doing our very best to help out the LGUs. And we believe that we're able to do it. And a lot of the LGUs are really adopting. In fact, meron pa kaming ibang mga projects na ginawa supported by DOST, which were really able to help the region or the province even during the COVID time, especially last year. So again, maraming salamat po.
Salamat po, Attorney Liza. So that is an assurance talaga that working together at sigurado na ma-accomplish ang mga pangako natin. And I would also like to acknowledge and mention po, if we hope that they have joined us po, mayors from La Trinidad Benguet and from Mandaluyong. From Benguet, si Honorable Mayor Romeo Salda, and also Honorable Mayor Carmelita Abalos from Mandaluyong. Can we hear from you? Can we hear from you po? Or from RD, Engineer Zamora? Or from, okay, dito na pala.
Okay, thank you, Dayan. And good morning, Yusek Kim, Yusek Sancho. We really appreciate the NICER program here in the region, because when this program was established in the region, it brings us more collaboration with the local government, with the private sector, and even with the business sector. I have been the DOST7 have been collaborating with UP Cebu, no? In fact, with their project on the hazard map, I was able to go around the fire hazard map, no? The fire hazard map, and it's a very good project that we have, and it really helps, no, the LGUs of the cities of Cebu, Mandawi, and Lapu-Lapu, and I was able to go along with them. And the next thing that the project with the Mango, I was also with them in the planning stage with their RD lead, no, the one from Lapu-Lapu, no, who is now in TUP, I think, no. And this is a very good collaboration with us, and even the NIDA 7 that goes to RDC is very appreciative of what UP Cebu has done, because it's not only UP Cebu, it's with the CTU, the Cebu Technological University, and even the Bohol Island State University is working with them. So this is really a partnership with all the agencies, institutions in the region. So I think we are hoping that some of the NICERs that we are also trying to submit for approval here in the region would also be would materialize in the near future. And we are very, I think we appreciate very much the work of the NICER program. In fact, when we asked RDC for the support of our IS4CP program, immediately they made the resolution. So I think we really push for the IS4CP as an act already as a law, so that it will be institutionalized. Thank you very much and good morning.
Maraming salamat din po, Engineer Zamora. Thank you for your words. And as much as we want to accommodate all the questions that you have shared with us, But in the interest of time, we would now be moving on. And rest assured that if our dear project leaders here can accommodate po the questions in the Zoom, we would be happy if pwede po ninyong masagot din sila. So maraming salamat po to all of our DOST leaders na nandito po, Yusek Guevara, Yusek Sancho, maraming salamat po, Doc Eric, maraming salamat po, Director Nancy, maraming salamat po. And of course, to other partners, sa ating pong mga project leaders, maraming salamat po and congratulations. And we are all looking forward that these NICERs would be nicest in the near future. Maraming salamat po. Pwede bang virtual applause naman dyan from our participants? Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you also to those who have dropped their queries and clarifications. Indeed, madami pa po tayong gustong pag-usapan, madami pa tayong gustong matutunan, but in the interest of time, we don't have the luxury of time, so we would be moving forward, okay po, to our program. And we have seen that R&D has been integral to create inclusive and sustainable urbanization and capacity for settlement, planning, and management in all the regions. And at this point, we will hear...
Can I speak?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Posek Boy.
So I just would like to thank and congratulate our NICER leaders and co-founders in the area of industry, energy, and emerging technologies. And I just want to let you know that this is really a great accomplishment on our part, on the part of DOST, in our aim of making R&D more inclusive in terms of getting the involvement of the different researchers and institutions in our regions. We also would like to let you know that we will continue to support what we have started as NICERs, but I hope that each NICER will also do their best so that they can later on be elevated into the status of national centers of excellence in science and technology. So I think somebody probably has mentioned already to you from NICER to NICEST. Okay, so our national centers of excellence will now be nicest when you are elevated into the national level. But that requires some criteria to be fulfilled. And I know each one of you will try your best, of course, with the help of the leadership of the institutions where you belong, whether these are universities or whether these are national government agencies. And of course, this will require support from our Regional Development Council and our legislators. Maraming salamat muli sa inyong lahat at kinararangal ko ang inyong accomplishment. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Sec Boy. Thank you for gracing us, Sec Boy, this morning. Maraming salamat.
Salamat.
And thank you also for your expression of commitment. O sabi ni Sec Boy, talagang nakasuporta lang po ang DOST para sa ating mga NICERs. And best efforts po tayo to be elevated, to be from NICER to NICES. And definitely tiyak natin that our project leaders here will be exerting their best efforts and will be stepping in their best foot forward para po sa achievement nitong NICES na, to be excellent na, to be more excellent at the national level. Maraming salamat po, Sec Boy. So this time we will be hearing more messages of support from our special guest. And let's start with the head of the Center for Geoinformatics and Environmental Solutions from the University of San Carlos. May we call in Dr. Roland Emerito S. Otadoy. And also from the planning officer from Buntok Mountain Province, Engineer Pablito A. Inga, Director Director of the Integrated Coastal Resources Management Center from Cebu Technological University is Dr. Rama Rosales. And last but not the least, the OIC Chief of Lapu-Lapu City DRR MO, Dr. Nigel Banyasia. Okay, do we have them? Okay. All right. So while we are waiting for our special guest, okay. Wait lang po, we would be okay. So while we are waiting for our special guest, okay, for their messages, we would like to remind everybody to please accomplish the evaluation form so that you would be able to receive your e-certificate for this symposium that we had. Okay, and the link to the evaluation form, I hope that our technical team can post it in our Zoom chat box so that our participants can accomplish their evaluation form. So this evaluation form is intended for us to continually strive in making better our services po to you. Okay, and announcement, there will still be a last NICER event that would be happening. This is what we call the NICER Summit, happening on December 3. So please block off your calendars on December 3 for the last NICER event, the NICER Summit. Okay. So do we have already? Okay, all right. Okay. So let's hear this video message.
I am Roland Emerito S. Otado, a professor of physics and the head of the University of San Carlos Center for Geoinformatics and Environmental Solutions, otherwise known as USC Census. The Center for Environmental Informatics of the University of the Philippines and the USC Census have been working together since the final years of the PhilIDA research programs. At that time, our common concern was sustainability of the centers that we have established as a way of harvesting the gains achieved in the PhilIDA programs. I can cite some of the achievements of our collaboration so far. First, there is now LiDAR data for the whole province of Cebu through the joint efforts of CENVI, CENGES, and of course, the Cebu provincial government who provided the funds. Second, in the official establishment of CENVI through the NICER program of DOST, a number of institutions were involved, such as USC through CENGES, Cebu Institute of Technology University, CITU, and Cebu Technological University, or CTU. And now in the Smart Torf Research Program, CENGES and CITU are heavily involved. We thank UP Cebu through CENVI for leading collaborative research in Cebu. The problems, such as climate change, that we are facing today are enormous. They are so huge and multifaceted that solution to these problems cannot be undertaken by one institution alone. It is my hope that the research for the comprehensive solution of these problems will be the tie that binds us together. We are living in extraordinary times which require extraordinary measures. I hope that our collaboration will become tighter as the years go by so that we can build strong, prosperous, and sustainable communities. Thank you.
Hi, this is Engineer Pablito Nina of the Municipal Planning and Development Office of Bontoc Mountain Province. As representative, we would like to express our sincere support to the steep to the establishment of the Mountain Engineering Research and Development Program. Thank you and more power.
Good day, I am Ramo Rosales, a faculty member and a researcher of the Cebu Technological University main campus. I would like to congratulate CENV for their achievements in the research and development projects. CENV has been an essential partner of our research project on biodiversity assessment of flora and fauna in Cebu Island Key Biodiversity Areas or KBAs. Through CENV, we were able to model the biogeographical distribution of the different species identified in our assessment through GIS mapping. The maps generated by CENV are important reference points for sustainable conservation program in the future of the KBAs in Cebu Island. I am hoping that we will continue our collaboration and strengthen our partnerships for research and development in Central Visayas. Good job, CENV, and keep it up.
How are you? I'm Najil Banyasya. I'm the officer in charge of Lapu-Lapu City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. And I'm the #1 client and supporter of University of the Philippines Cebu Center for Environment Informatics. And our office also is a beneficiary of the DOST research program on fire check and fire spread modeling. Personally, I believe that the academe is the repository of knowledge. Because in my opinion, the local government units don't have an specific office that deals on research and development. So realizing the need, I went to the academe. I went to UP Cebu and seek for their help. And thank you, UP, for all the support. We are now having our fire check and fire spread modeling. It is very important in our quest to become a resilient city. So, congratulations to UP. I hope that we will have a lot of research to do in the days to come. Thank you, UP, and mabuhay.
Thank you so
On
much.
behalf of the
Okay,
Department
sorry.
of Science and
Go ahead.
Technology, Regional Office 7, I would like to express our commendation and support to the Center for Environmental Informatics, or CINDI, which was established in the University of the Philippines Cebu under the DOST's Niche Center in the region for R&D of the NICER program. CINDI makes use of computing technologies in response to various environmental issues in the province or in the region which require instant solutions and interventions. This has been evident in their undertakings from creating heat maps of COVID-19 cases in the province, providing sustainability assessments to quick mapping of environmental disasters. And since the DOST's programs and services are exactly in line with CINVI's mission, we pledge our support on your projects and activities and other initiatives for the general public as we continue to strive in developing a society-centric R&D and at large building sustainable cities and communities.
Thank you so much to our special guest. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for providing much hope and support for our R&D centers or our NICERs. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Otadoy, Engineer Inga, Dr. Rosales, Dr. Banyasilla. We also would like to thank Mayor Jonas Cortez and Mayor Jonas Cortez, the Mayor of Mandaue City. So I think that we still have one video. Okay, one video message that we would not. Okay, all right. So, again, thank you so much. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga mensahe ninyo. Indeed, without collaboration, without partnership, this won't be possible. Sabi nga, it takes two to tango, and thank you for for dancing with us, for dancing a good rhythm with us. So to give us a better lasting insight, may we please welcome the Undersecretary for Regional Operations, Engineer Sancho A. Mabora. Magandang umaga po.
To all the officials, representatives, and guests from various national and local agencies and government units, institutions, organizations, regional interagency councils, and SMT committees, to our NICER implementing agencies and collaborators, to our national and regional media partners, and to everyone joining us via Zoom and FB Live, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the DOST family, I wish to thank you all for joining us in this fourth leg of the NICER events this year, the Research Evolution Symposium, wherein we featured the 3 established NICERs under the industry, energy, and emerging technology sector, and on how the centers are contributing towards building sustainable cities and communities. The Center for Astronomy R&D at the Rizal Technological University, Mountain Engineering R&D Center at the University of the Cordilleras, and the Center for Environmental Informatics at the University of the Philippines, Cebu, have already gained traction in adding new knowledge on the field and in creating impacts in the local communities. Compared to the other NICERs featured and launched in the previous events, these NICERs have relatively wider scope and cross-cutting applications. The interactions and complementation of the NICERs established so far in the regions are envisioned to bring us closer towards developing a more STI-driven, sustainable, resilient, and progressive countryside. As I have mentioned in the previous events, having a NICER is a recognition of the institution's R&D strength, competence, and track record along the particular R&D area, and at the same time, an expression of the commitment of the host institutions and collaborators to nurture the center to be a national R&D center in the near future. At this point, I challenge the NICERs on astronomy, mountain engineering, and environmental informatics to continue expanding the respective networks and strengthen the partnership with the relevant government agencies and stakeholders. We hope to see soon how the data and information from the centers are being translated into technologies, good practices, and policy recommendations for the benefit of the host region and the rest of the countryside. With all of this, congratulations to the NICER teams and the organizers of this activity. We hope that this event opens more opportunities for future collaboration and partnership for these centers. Thank you, and see you all again in our next NICER event.
Thank you very much, Yusek Sancho Maborang. With the presentations earlier, we have seen that R&D can help build sustainable cities and communities here in Metro Manila and in the regions. Sabi nga kanina, di ba, from regional definitely to national, and spur more regional economic growth, which contributes to national growth. And through R&D, we will be ready to face any challenges, starting with this pandemic and beyond. And with this research, and with the research evolution, we can definitely achieve a revolution for our country, a revolution through the power of innovation. So again, for our registrants, please accomplish your evaluation forms. We have posted the link to the form in our Zoom chat box. So please accomplish it, as you will be receiving your e-certificates only upon submission of these form. Again, we would like to better improve our services to you, and we will appreciate receiving your forms. So before we close our symposium for today, we would not miss it for a chance to have this photo opportunity together with our dear Secretary, Yusek Geb, and Director Paringit, and our regional directors, lahat po ng ating mga panelists. Okay, can I request everyone to please turn on their cameras for a quick photo opportunity? Ayun, maraming salamat po. Okay, this is a testament of a nice work being done that will be nicest sooner. Okay. All right, we have everybody now. Pati po ang ating mga partners. Sige po, join na po tayo. Thank you so much. Okay, asking help from our technical team. Okay, on my cue. All right. Okay, I think we're good. All right, on my cue, in 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, isa pa po, last. In 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, na-capture naman na po natin, ano? Again, maraming salamat po. Thank you. Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you to all our partners. Thank you to all our friends, and of course, our dear leaders from the DOST. Maraming salamat po. And indeed, with the good work that we have started, we are looking forward that we would be able to accomplish more for the benefit of every Filipino people, again, through science, technology, and innovation. This has been your host, Dayan Tating, leaving you with the idea that innovation with collaboration is the key at arriving in a better nation, a revolution nation. Thank you, and we hope to see you again in our next event. Mark your calendars on December 3 for our NICER Summit. Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Magandang agham. Keep safe, everybody.
The niche centers in the regions for R&D program. The grant is open to higher education institutions with a capacity for multi-year R&D program implementation. We're looking for collaborative proposals that are unique throughout the regions, that benefits local industries, promotes inclusive growth, and is anchored on the harmonized national R&D agenda. For more details, follow us on Facebook or shoot us an email. We'll help you find your